During a House of Commons Westminster Hall debate on illegal immigration, UK MP Rupert Lowe questioned the legitimacy of migrants crossing the English Channel in small boats to claim asylum, leaving MPs speechless. Let's dive into the clip and react, while also covering the latest political news from around the country. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to Starmers now, to stay updated on all things Westminster. As mentioned, during the Westminster Hall debate on illegal immigration, UK MP Rupert Lowe raised concerns about the demographics of migrants crossing the English Channel.
When we see pictures of boats entering Dover, packed full of supposedly desperate asylum seekers, I want to ask, where are the women? Where are the children? The craft are filled almost exclusively with men, young men. How did they secure the rumoured £5,000 to pay for the cost of their crossing? Even by the Home Office's own figures, in 2022, 87% of these people were men. We must be abundantly clear and honest with the British people. These are foreign males looking to take advantage of our soft borders and our incompetent establishment. They are not, in the vast majority of cases, people genuinely fleeing war and persecution.
What do you think about this question? Let me know in the comments. In other news, Chancellor Rachel Reeves will need to secure an additional PS16 billion to fulfill the government's pre-election commitments, as indicated by calculations from the Institute for Fiscal Studies. This warning comes ahead of the upcoming budget on October 30th, during which the Chancellor will outline the government's future spending and revenue strategies. Labour has committed to avoiding a return to austerity for public services and plans to increase government investment to stimulate growth. However, to uphold these promises, Reeves will need to find PS6 billion in addition to the PS9 billion in tax increases proposed in Labour's manifesto. The Chancellor has also been cautioned against overhauling the fiscal framework to release PS50 billion for additional spending, as this could unsettle the markets and potentially lead to a scenario reminiscent of Liz Truss's economic turmoil. Reeves faces the daunting task of securing PS25 billion in tax increases, while her party has ruled out raising income tax, employees' national insurance contributions, and VAT. During Prime Minister's questions, Conservative leader Rishi Sunak pressed Starmer to dismiss the idea of increasing employer NICs. In response, Starmer reiterated their commitment not to raise taxes on working people, emphasizing their loyalty to the promises outlined in their manifesto after securing a significant majority to improve the country. Labour has proposed PS9 billion in tax increases, but the IFS noted that if Reeves aims to boost spending on public services in line with national income, she will require an extra PS6 billion. Given her pledges not to raise the main rates of income tax and corporation tax or to increase national insurance or VAT, she might struggle to implement tax rises on that scale. It would exceed the net tax increases introduced in July 1997 and October 2010, both around PS13 billion to PS4 billion, which means she may have to accept a decline in day-to-day spending on various public services relative to national income. Aside from those main taxes, there are potential avenues to generate additional revenue without taxing working people. One possibility is increasing capital gains tax, which applies to profits from selling appreciating assets, such as second homes. However, Judith Friedman, an emeritus professor of tax law and policy at the University of Oxford, cautioned that this might only yield a few billion and not the PS20 billion needed. Another option could involve adjusting inheritance tax, which is levied on the value of estates after death. Currently, capital gains tax and inheritance tax together generate less than PS25 billion annually, meaning a substantial increase would be necessary to raise an extra PS5 billion. Alternatively, methods to enhance revenue could involve elevated national insurance or income tax rates without altering existing headline rates. If the Chancellor examines the regulations surrounding tax relief on pension contributions, much larger sums could be at stake. Reeves might focus on tax relief for employer contributions, which are currently exempt from national insurance, a policy that costs the Treasury PS23.8 billion annually, according to government data. Lastly, it is believed the Chancellor could consider a significant reduction in the allowance for tax-free pension withdrawals. Currently, most individuals can access 25% of their pension pot tax-free from the age of 55, with a maximum of PS 268,000, which is a third of the existing threshold. This change could potentially generate around PS 2 billion in revenue during the budget. But lastly, an average of 135 small boat migrants have made the journey across the English Channel each day during Labour's first 100 days in office. As of Saturday, the total number of Channel migrants since Prime Minister Starmer's government took power on July 5th has surpassed 13,500. On that day alone, more than 400 individuals crossed illegally from France, bringing the total number of small boat migrants for the year to nearly 27,200. Yesterday, 142 migrants made the crossing after adverse weather had halted travel since the previous Saturday. A brief respite in the weather late Friday night and into Saturday morning allowed smugglers to launch several dinghies from French shores. The news that an average of 135 migrants per day have crossed since Labour's ascent to power increases pressure on the Starmer government, which has vowed to dismantle the gangs. Labour is allocating tens of millions of pounds in additional resources to its new Border Security Command. The UK has also entered international agreements with G7 nations and others to enhance cooperation in law enforcement regarding people smuggling investigations. However, there has yet to be any significant reduction in the number of crossings into UK waters, and with winter approaching, criminal organisations are expected to take even greater risks with the lives of migrants by launching boats in increasingly hazardous weather. This year has already marked the deadliest period since the small boats crisis began in 2018, with nearly 50 lives lost in several incidents, including those of women and children. A Home Office spokesperson stated that everyone wants to end the dangerous small boat crossings that endanger lives and compromise border security. Recent tragedies in the Channel have shown that people smuggling gangs are indifferent to the lives of the vulnerable individuals they exploit, as long as they receive payment. The government has vowed to dismantle their operations and hold them accountable, stating they are making progress by increasing personnel both domestically and overseas. Their new Border Security Command will strengthen global partnerships and enhance capabilities to investigate, arrest, and prosecute these criminal entities. What are your thoughts on what we've discussed in today's video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you haven't already, make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, and goodbye.